Hello, my name is Tim Paulsen. I'd like to share with you some of my thoughts about everything I need to know about collections I learned from golf and the movies. Alright, perhaps I didn't learn everything from golf and the movies, but when you pay attention, there really is a lot to be learned, as well as some positive reinforcement. Let's see if you might agree with some of my observations. Anyone can collect from the customer who has money, is pleasant to talk to, and willing to pay. The secret of effective collections is how we're going to deal with the customers who may not be so pleasant, who are going through some challenges, perhaps some of their customers not paying them on time. Our firms don't need the very best of us when things are going well. They need us to buckle down during those bad rounds and make them better, a lot better. The professionals make it look so easy, do they not? Gary Player said, the harder I practice, the luckier I get. Whether it's opening statements, closing lines, different ways of asking for information, commitments, and of course the money. Education, training, and practice never stops. Never, never, never. And by the way, question for you. How long ago was it that you read a book on collections or receivables management? But no matter what happens in golf, you never want to give up on a hole. You undermine your whole game if you do so, if you begin to quit between the tee and the green. Maybe we're not so successful with an individual customer, but you can't let it affect your morning, your afternoon, your day, or even your week. The next caller, the customer, still demands the very best of us. Never up and never in. I've been struggling with this one in my golf game, sometimes being just a little bit too short on my putts. Biggest mistake people make in collections is not asking for the money. Now, I'm Canadian, so I'm going to get in a quote from one of our hockey stars, Wayne Gretzky. You miss 100% of the shots that you never take. You've got to ask for the money. All right, the two lessons from Jerry Maguire. Show me the money. You knew you were going to hear that one in a video on collections, of course, so let's get that one done and out of the way. It's not the only objective in professional collections, but it is the proverbial bottom line. If we don't get the money from our customers, we're not going to be in business to serve any of them. But there was another important lesson from the movie. Help me to help you. Find out what your customer wants, what your customer needs. Some could be in a temporary difficult situation, and there's others who may be chronic at managing their money poorly. Life is like a box of chocolates, Mrs. Gump always said. You never know what you're going to get. Now, I don't like to speak against anybody's mama, but what kind of chocolates was she buying? Any box I've ever come across has a description, maybe even some pictures or some drawings. Most of the times, you do know what you're going to get. Now, the same thing in collections. You shouldn't be able to say you never know what you're going to hear from your customers, because most of the times you do. There are about 9 to 10 excuses, no matter what your business, that you and your associates hear 95% of the time. You got to get ready for them. So what are some of those excuses? Maybe they're going to tell us the check's in the mail, didn't receive the invoice. Our terms are. Doesn't matter what yours are. They're going to pay it according to their own terms. Vacation sick, it could be the individual, could be the accounts payable people, could be the folks who have to sign the check. Consumer collections, maybe somebody's out of work. We know that's going to be a difficult one. But these particular excuses, getting ready for them ahead of time. There are things like the excuse terminator. You can find them on my site, and other people have them as well, where you take the common excuses, you think about what your 5W questions are, maybe some statements, and get yourself ready for it before you hear those excuses. Motto of the Boy Scouts and the Girl Scouts around the world, always be prepared. Let's talk about some lessons from the Godfather movies. It's business, nothing personal. Oddly enough, you'll do better in collections. You'll collect a lot more money with a lot less stress if you treat it like a game. You need to care, but not that much. Second important lesson is keep your friends close, but your enemies closer. Maybe it's someone in sales, production. It could be a rival supplier for products or services. Last lesson, never go against the family. You are expected to have some disagreements with others in your firm. That can be healthy. But we need to close ranks as far as outsiders are concerned. No chinks in the armor. To close off this section on the movies, I'm going to quote from the small, I think it was about 2 feet 2 inches, maybe 66 centimeters, philosopher Yoda. Most of us know what to do. We know there are ways to improve our individual, our overall performance. But there's too many diets, management techniques, behavioral changes scheduled to start on a Monday. No need to wait for Monday. Let's do it. Let's do it now. This is Tim Paulsen once again. May the force be with you, and thank you for allowing me to share some of my thoughts from my keynote address on everything I needed to know about collections. I've learned at the movies and from playing golf.